Good morning, and welcome to our service for Sunday, April 3rd, 2022. Look at all of us. So exciting, so exciting. Whew. Y'all can do the big exhale now. We're back in the room. Yeah, thank you. From Unity of Wimberley, those of us here in the room, to those of you that are watching us online, we're grateful for the connection that we have with you, for the community that you contribute to, and we consider you a part of our spiritual family. This is a special Sunday, my friends. It's full of love, joy, appreciation. Today marks Unity of Wimberley's 18th year as a spiritual community on this hill. We have so much to be grateful for and even more to look forward to in the future as we continue to grow and express God's love to the world. I'll have a little bit of a story for you in a few minutes about how we got to this moment. Please stay after the service for coffee and for cupcakes, special anniversary cupcakes, as we wish our church happy birthday. Today also marks the last Sunday that our beloved Reverend Kit Holmes serves as Unity of Wimberley's Associate Spiritual Leader and Music Director. It's very hard to say goodbye. So we'll just say bon voyage and look forward to the many exciting and impactful ways her ministry will make the world a better place for everyone. We love you, Kit. We're also excited to share with you that Julie Reagans and Curtis Bringle have agreed to step in as our music directors. Yeah, there we go. There. You know what joy and perfection they brought to our services over the last couple of years, and we are just thrilled that you're joining us. We know that you're going to be filling some very big and very stylish musical shoes, so yeah. Like, hey, I'm gonna walk you down today.
And Julie's shoes as well. So. You got it. Just saying.
Oh.
I knew the bar would be high.
No competition, but you know. We all consider ourselves extremely lucky to have your talent and excellence as part of our Sunday service, so welcome, officially.
Thank you.
So now let's join Reverend Kit Holmes, Julie Reagans, Curtis Bringle, Jeff Stockey, and Scott Wade in our welcome song.
Let's stand up, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Spirit of love, I live in the spirit of love, I live in the spirit of love, because love lives in me. I move in the spirit of love. I move in the spirit of love. I move in the spirit of love, because love is in me. I reach out in the spirit of love.
Wow. Wish you guys would loosen up a little bit, man. So good morning, everyone. Please join me as we affirm our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power, active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now let us unite our spirits as we hold this vision for our church. Together, we are an open-hearted spiritual community, powerfully transforming our world by honoring the sacred in all. And we practice this mission together, inspired by our shared spiritual awakening. We offer practical teachings that empower healthy, abundant, and meaningful living. Today's daily word reading is inner peace. And the affirmation is, I think peace, I feel peace, I am peace. Peace lives in my heart, at the place within me where all appearances of separation dissolve. I feel only peace, only God, only oneness. This peace is always mine, part of my divine inheritance. I carry it with me through every experience, every moment of the day. Nothing can destroy or even disturb my peace when I invite the divine presence, the Christ of my being, to be my constant guide. A passing thought of fear, worry, or anger is a reminder to breathe, to release negative energy, to embrace peace. So there's your reminder to breathe. I feel renewed when I meditate, enjoy a walk, or take a moment to appreciate natural beauty wherever I find it. My indwelling peace manifests all around me as beauty, harmony, and bliss. And from Psalm 29:11, may the Lord give strength to his people. May the Lord bless his people with peace. And amen to that. And now, in honor of our 18 years as a church, I'd like to share with you a brief history and some beautiful moments that we've shared along the way. Wow. So first, let me tell you before I start this that yesterday we had a memorial service here in the church for Buddy Wilson, who was one of the key players in our being able to acquire this property. The fact that his memorial service was yesterday, on the weekend that we celebrate this anniversary, the fact that his family was so intertwined, as you can see in this slide, with this church family in its earliest days is a significant thing. So today we just say, thank you, Buddy. Thank you, Buddy. And his former wife, Holly, now Hall, who was part of that as well. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. But a little bit about this property first. White Wings Ranch is what it's called now, but at one time it was the 7,000-acre Lone Man Creek Ranch. It was owned by the Moody family out of Galveston, and I believe it was those Moodys. So the big stone entrance gate that you see on 3237 was the original entrance to the ranch property. So the Moody family had that property for a while. It eventually passed to Red McCombs, and eventually through several owners, and the Moody family is the earliest it can go back. Before the Moody family, we know that at some time it was owned by the indigenous people of this part of Texas. It was borrowed, shall I say. Eventually, Siri Hutchison and Camille Cook sold to us the 43 acres that's now known as Unity Church of Wimberley, and it's now known as White Wings Ranch. The building here was built sometime around the early 70s, and it was used for family gatherings, weddings, and lodge accommodations. special events, and even hunting accommodations. There's a rumor that President Lyndon Johnson came to this ranch to hunt several times. I don't know if that's true. You know that things pass into lore after a while. And the farther you are from what might have actually happened, the bigger the lore gets. So there it is. In 1999, Camille and Siri decided to save this building because all of the buildings here had fallen into disrepair. So it was christened and restored to its original beauty. The tennis courts were built, the pool was put in, the kitchen was added, this great room was rebuilt, and there were actually suites to accommodate people, and it was called Wimberley Lodge. At the time that Unity acquired it, it was still used as a lodge for a little while until trying to have a spiritual community and accommodate visitors staying overnight or for a weekend became too cumbersome. So we have it now. So that's a little bit about the property itself. So here's how it all got started. This is called the unofficial but true story. I'll just leave it at that. So you should know that back in 2002, 20 years ago, a group of women had been meeting with each other. They called themselves the Sisters. And in 2002, those women held hands at Jan McGowan's house and affirmed to the universe that they were going to start a Unity church. How about that? And then shortly after that, Bev Allen, who was part of that group, was moved to rent Harmony House, which I understand is no longer in existence. Is that correct? It washed away in the floods. So this is a story of passages, you understand? At that time, a temporary minister was hired, and as can happen with ministers, people seem to sometimes let egos and personalities take over the mission of their work. I'll leave it at that. At the beginning, there was a 501c3 that was established, and the board of directors were Bev Allen, Sonia Hereford, Jan McGowan, Kathy Scott Perry, Gigi Benno, and member at large was Lee Allen. Now, Bev Allen passed away just 10 days ago. Her memorial service is this afternoon. Okay? I'm just so moved. So the first service was in February of 2003. There was a potluck. There were about 20 people, which is a good showing for a little community that's first getting started. And it was during those meetings that Buddy and Holly came to the church and enjoyed it. Well, things were I'm just going to say things were kind of falling apart with the temporary minister that was visiting. So the church kind of split in two for a while. And Buddy and Holly said, you can meet in our barn. So some people were part of the original group that met at Harmony House. Some people came into Unity when they came to the Wilsons' barn. So there was the barn group, there was a Harmony House group for a short period of time. Okay, so I'm skipping over a whole bunch of stuff. Buddy Wilson was working with Camille, who was the owner here, on a different project and started brainstorming a way that this could be acquired by a church that had no money. And some people would say, are you kidding me? No, not kidding. So here's a paragraph I'm going to read from the unofficial but true history. The owners of the lodge were here for the service, and everyone was praying that this would go through, even though there wasn't a spiritual leader, even though there wasn't money. Camille and Siri still believed that it could happen, and they helped structure a deal where a small church with no money could purchase these 43 acres. It was a turning point to realize that this spiritual community was committed to this movement and that this obstacle wasn't a setback, but actually a point where everyone was free to do the right thing. So do you see where even the minister that came in for a little while was a crucial player in the legacy and the history of the church? It had to happen exactly the way it did. I'm always reminded of that piece in the story of Joseph, in which he says to his brothers who had sold him into slavery, at the end of the happy story, he said, "You may have meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." And if we can take that lesson here for this community, you can take it in your own personal lives as well. So through divine order, Mindy Audlin and her husband came and were the original official leaders of the Unity Church of Wimberley, followed by a couple of other ministers who were here for a brief period of time. Ellen Davenport, who was here for 9 years, gone for a period of time, and then 4 years ago, this weekend, Kit and I started as your ministers. So what a beautiful history that is. What a beautiful history. So starting in 2004, this place became focused in its time. It became focused in a way to serve the community. And when we talk about the body of the church, when we talk about all of the things that can occur in a community full of human beings, it's important to remember that no matter who we are, no matter what we're going through, the body of this church is comprised of all these necessary elements. And it goes on. It goes on. We've had a lot of things that have happened here. And this church, I want you to notice this room full of people, and yesterday it was even more packed. This room full of people has gone through a pandemic that none of us have ever seen. And here we are. So in memoriam today, we also want to remember some of the people that have been part of this community that are no longer with us. There's Buddy, Jim Beal, Jim Bishop. Wow, look at all that. Yes. I don't know everyone's name, but I know a lot of them. Oh, Susan Cranshaw. Santa. Yes, Kay. And I think it's fair of me to say that someone else who was a member of our church, and this is a matter of legal record, so I'm going to disclose. Some of you knew Peggy Garrison. We just received last week a certified letter that Peggy Garrison's estate had us in her will, and we received a gift from her estate of $10,000. So grateful, grateful, grateful. My friends, we're standing on a point in time right now that is like, you know how certain places feel like vortexes because of their energy? Like something really big happened there and we still feel the energy of it? Or even that there are magnetic elements in the earth beneath us that have a different energy to them. We're standing in a time vortex right now, a vortex of time. If you just take a breath, you can feel yourself right there on that edge of what was and what is coming. What has been in the past and the future that awaits us. And we stand here on that still point. And so today we honor all those who have come before us, whether they are still on the planet or whether they have left it. All the elements that brought us to this point in time, we honor that. And in the same way, we can bless this present moment, this tender, fragile, powerful moment, and then project that goodness, that knowing that the role you play now and the people who pass through these doors today and every day in the future contribute to the life of something that is greater than the sum of our parts. The reason that religion ever formed, the reason that churches ever came into being, is because we're better together. We support each other, and we encourage each other to shine the light of Spirit wherever we go. That's our mission, to be a beacon of that light. And we draw our energy from each other here in this place. And it doesn't matter if you're in the room or elsewhere. There was a couple here yesterday, and they said, "We see you every Sunday on our screen at home." I said, "I knew you were there. Just wasn't aware that it was your particular faces, but I knew you were there." We know it. So those of you that are at home today, you're part of this room today as well. You're part of our hearts. And so we bless unity. We bless unity of Wimberley. And now, on with the show. With our gathering prayer today is Abby Vassick.
This world is so dang stimulating. Our consciousness is ever expanding. So we pray to come into alignment with our divine nature and truth so that we know what is ours to do and how to best do it. I'm going to share with you a prayer that I say every day before I step into my work. It's very simple. I hear what I need to hear. I see what I need to see. I know what I need to know to operate from the highest and best. I pray for divine guidance, and I make no choices from the small self. I move at the speed of grace and arrive in perfect timing. Now that's usually because I'm running late. But am I? Right. It's all perfect when we are in alignment. It may look different today than it did yesterday, but as long as we stay in that alignment. I want to add to the prayer that it's just not arriving to intersections and moments, but new understandings, right? New inspirations and new purpose. Let's pray again. In this, I am aligned, and I am ever awakening to the sensitive instrument that is my intuition. This intelligence guides me, and I am always in step with the divine, and my good is the good that is God's good and all our good. So in this I trust. What is my expression? I express as me. This is not only my gift to the world, but it is my responsibility, because I am the voice of God. I am the instrument of God. And in this moment, I think, what would God say? What would love say? What feels light? We are the light. We are so grateful And in this we say, thank you, God. Amen. Amen. Waheguru.
Stay awake and pay attention. Hold your thoughts in suspension. Do you know you're already free? Give and take, flow and tension, yin and yang, soul's extension. Do you know you're already free? You're already free. It's who you are. The good life is waiting on you. You're already free. The door's ajar. Are you going to walk through? Here's your break. Defy convention. Trust your heart's comprehension, 'cause it knows you're already free. What's at stake? Your good intentions. It's your choice. And did I mention you are already free? You're already free. It's who you are. The good life is waiting on you. You're already free. The door's ajar. Are you going to walk through? Thank you, Abby. I'd like Mr. Curtis Pringle to take a solo, please. Who you are, the good life is waiting on you. You're already free, the door's ajar. Are you going to walk through? Thank you. Stay awake and pay attention. You just might achieve ascension if you know you're already free. Do you know you're already free? Do you know you're already free? So Abby, I was trying to give you hand signals. I'm not very good at, what's the thing where you draw on the board and you give clues and you
Dictionary.
Thank you, yes. I was trying to ask you if you would get me another glass of water, because I'm probably I'm a little nervy and dry. Thank you. All of that. That's why I don't play Pictionary, because I use my hands and that doesn't do a dang thing to help anybody. I'm sorry I'm hitting that a little bit hard, Jason. So, good morning again, and it is wonderful to see all of you in the room. And I'll just tell you right now, my heart is kind of like this, because there is the sense of, and yeah, my hand is shaking as well. A sense of gratitude that's just not even the beginning of this. Excitement, nervousness, a tremendous amount of grief, and I'll just say that's probably what is happening here is at night. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're going to cry in front of these people," and I probably will. But I chose Already Free about this place and just everything that has come together through the prayer and through the introduction and the timing of everything that is happening this weekend. The vortex, the space, the liminal space, this unknown, this going from point A to point B, which we are always in. And Already Free is about making that choice to go to the next place. It is about consciousness. The title, the talk today of one thought away. We are always one thought away from choosing joy or sorrow. Choosing to be paying attention, to be staying awake to what's happening in our lives, to see what is coming back at us that reflects to us what our consciousness has been. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, religious science, and you've probably heard this many times, is what we think about, we bring about. Our thoughts are creative. Change your thinking, change your life. All of those little affirmations and taglines, that's about consciousness. And we have this beautiful, wonderful capacity in this gift, thank you, Abby, for being able to use our conscious minds to speak to our subconscious minds and get in there and look around at what the patterns and the beliefs and the paradigms that have been running in the background, operating us most of our lives. That's the beauty of it. The practice of this, of course, is staying awake and paying attention to what we are thinking about in any given moment. When the date became available for me to come to do this, to be with you one more time till who knows when, it's hard to say that. And then it's the 18th anniversary of the church, and it's the 4th anniversary of Jill and I being together, and it was just, everything fell into place. I didn't realize when I started going back and looking at 18 years of the history of Unity of Wimberley that I've been here for over 12. And when I started to look at things, I was like, oh, wow. And the evolution of this community, my personal evolution of going from being very resistant to a lot of callings to where I am standing in front of you today, it's like, wow. And I want to remind you in all of that, in all of the changes and all of the shifts and everything that has happened just in the last couple of years of a pandemic that we, as Jill said, we didn't see it coming. And we had no idea. None of us have ever been through it before, I don't think. If any of you are over 100 some odd years old, and anyway. So I found this community. I think I was trying to remember, I think it was somewhere around that very early time when it was pretty shifty and shifting. And I came up here as a guest musician, and there was the music director at that person, Shay Gardine. Some of you remember. And I believe there was also a different piano. It was a brown piano. And Leah, I keep forgetting the name of this one. Irva, thank you. And I remember this funky vibe here in about, I think it was about 2007, and I went off and did a lot of things. I was traveling and speaking in a lot, learning how to speak in church. And one of the first things that I remember about being here was, like I said, this beauty on the hill and just going, wow. There was a New Thought music conference, a very small one with a lot of local people, and there was a guy named, and his name just went out of my head, he's in Savannah now, Dale Worley, musician, blues player, just man, he plays piano. And he put this thing together. Sander von Gillenbond, who was at the San Marcos Unity Church, put together this thing called the Music of the Heart Conference for New Thought songwriters and musicians. And that's how I met a lot of people. And that evolved for me to doing some things. And in 2009, I was up at the North Unity Church that Jill had started up on Dessau Row in Northeast Austin. She was no longer in the pulpit, but Eliza Bloom, you see where the dots are connected, was up there at the time. And I had put together this concert, this New Thought concert, called the Good Grooves Gathering. And Eddie Watkins, and it was local, Austin, San Antonio, New Thought musicians, this big concert up at that church. And at the end of that concert, a minister walked up to me and said, "Who are you and why aren't you playing in my church?" And I looked at her and I said, "Well, who are you and where's your church?" And her name was Reverend Ellen Davenport from Unity of Wimberley. So for the next 2 years, I was here with the change out of the piano. And I was a guest at least once a month. And then it was twice a month. And they courted me for a very long time to be the music minister here. And I kept saying, no, I'm having a good time going to other churches and doing my thing and doing my thing and doing my thing and doing my thing. And one Sunday morning, I was sitting right there in that chair in the front row. And the little backstory around that was that Sherry Conway, the Conways were here at the time, and Sherry was our admin. And they were doing some visioning, Jan McGowan and many of you. And in early 2011, I had a whole bunch of stuff for 2011 planned. I had a couple of conferences. I had all these dates booked and places to be around the country. And one by one, those dates started falling off my calendar. And I'm like, what the? And I was sitting in that front row on a particular day, and it was the official announcement that the word was going out to Unity Worldwide and everywhere else that they could reach, that they were looking for the music director, the permanent music director of Unity of Wimberley. And I felt that big old thing that God does a lot, and it went wham, and I went, no. No. And in February of 2011, I started as the music minister of Unity of Wimberley. And I was here for those 5.5 years with Ellen until 2016. 2015, when I got another wham, they said, it's time to go to ministerial school. And I went, no. And I went and I started and I did 3 terms and I stepped away and learned that I had a lot of things that I needed to heal and needed to look at in my life to get, it's like, if this is mine to do, I gotta be clear. I gotta be really clear. And there was an interim and there was a space and time that happened, and another wham came in 2016 where it said it's time to step away from Unity of Wimberley as the music minister. I went, okay. And I did for a little while, but I was here, still guesting and learning how to speak as a minister. I already knew how to talk a lot. And the evolution of my work as that minister, I think when I finally did a talk in this room, I sat behind the piano because I needed that piece of furniture in front of me for safety. That's my happy spot. That's my safe spot. Playing and singing behind the piano. And eventually I started to move out and standing in front and doing all those kinds of things. Stepped away, and Jill and I, you've heard the story many times, we were itinerant musician around the Austin area. And there would be Sundays where we wouldn't even know that we were going to be in the same room together, and we'd show up and she'd do the talk and I'd do the music, and it was always right on, perfect. And when Ellen left in 2017, and there was a huge, as you all know, transition. There was still involvement, and I was still here, and I felt pulling this, it's like I'm not done here yet. I'm not done here yet. But my resistance to call kept getting narrower and narrower to the yes. My resistance to the yes kept from here to here. And all of the angst in the middle started to come to this. And so by the time Jill had applied as to be the senior minister in this position, You've all heard the story as well. There were several things that just showed up in that space, in the vortex of the timing of God's perfect timing for our work together. And I was at that point finally like, whatever happens is going to happen. And I'll be good if this happens. I'll be good if this happens. I'm good with that. I'm good with that call. And as you know, it happened. Easter Sunday, April Fool's Day, 2018. Little did we know what was coming immediately. And I will just say that every step along the way of being a part of this community, the support that I have received, the love that I have received from every single one of you, and even some of those in the room that I maybe haven't even met yet, and those online, has been, an email here or a text here or this or this is how something you did touched me. I had the honor and the privilege of spending the last 3 months of Peggy Garrison's life with her once a week, online. We met online every week. She asked for prayer and she asked for support. That container of service, to be present for someone who was going through what she was going through, changed me. That is watching somebody pull all the questions from point A to point B, knowing what point B is. Not knowing a specific end date, but knowing there's an end date and being so conscious of that. We all have an end date that we take for granted. I think we do. And the idea here in this teaching specifically, in being conscious of that in every single moment, creating the life. Are you going to walk through the door? The door is ajar. It is waiting for us. We are already in freedom. We just don't know it. It is the conscious choice to move and say, yep, I'm going to check out one day. Don't know when that's going to be. And in the meantime, I am going to bless and give thanks for every single moment, no matter what it looks like. My phrase in the last several months has been, most times with a big sigh and a deep breath, has been, yeah, God is in this too. I might not see it, I might not feel it, and there's a lot of times where I have a lot of resistance to admitting that, accepting it, but when I do, and I know many of you know this as well, when you are knocked into surrender, complete surrender, there is a peace that opens up. There are people and places and things and supplies and support and all of the things, all of the infinite possibility and potential that is sitting here, right now in this room and in the universe, in this infinite universe, available to us at every single moment. It is being willing to move one thought. One thought. Not, oh my God, I have to know the next 100 steps before I take the first one. Because we don't get that. We get the next step, period. One thought to peace, to compassion, to forgiveness, to what would I love my life to look like? How am I going to allow Spirit to express through me and as me? That's what we're here to do. My resistance, and I can't imagine any of you having any resistance to an intuitive call or something that feels like this is mine to do. Can't imagine any of you doing that. My resistance, as it turns out, was kind of self-defeating. And what I've also learned and recognized is that there is a pattern. We all have the patterns. We all have the paradigms of why we do that. And I have spent the last 25 years of my life asking that question. Why do I do what I do? Why am I doing this? I'm watching, again, thank you, yes. Why am I doing this again? To getting underneath it and saying, okay, yep, here's this bit of information, take the judgment away and go right back to the first principle of new thought, of science of mind and unity, and all of that is, God is in all of this. Change is not an event. Change is a process. It is a process of one thought, one decision, one recognition, one being willing to be open to the guidance. This has been one hell of a ride. If you noticed, I'm not sitting behind the piano today. I'm not singing behind the piano today, and that was intentional. This point A to point B with the new music directors that I am proud, so proud and so grateful that I found you guys a couple years ago, and that you're friends and you're good friends and you're dear friends and crazy talented musicians. And Jeff, all the years, man. Scott, we've only been able to play together a couple times, but the first time I was like looking at that little device going, what? You're playing a drum song? Whoa, cool. And then he's like showing off all the little features. I'm like, yeah. And he's a good guy. The staff here. A1. All the way through the pandemic. Sue and Elton and Taylor and Jason and everybody else, Ryan, who's not here, and I see that Janet has now joined the team, and I'm glad to see that. The board members that have come and gone, the volunteers, the chaplains. This has been one crazy, crazy good ride. And Jill, this is tough. And I don't resist the yes anymore, as hard as it is. And as thumpy as it makes my chest go. Because I know, and I've been through it enough recently, to know the yes yields incredible gifts, incredible growth, enormous healing. And it puts us in the flow so that every next step is just easy peasy. There it is. Look at that, what just happened. Wow. So I'm going to leave you today before we go into meditation. I want to make sure I'm doing this in the right order. I'm in the right order? No, my order, not the... Let's see. Notes. Okay, meditation. It's somewhere. You know that old God. There it is. I want to leave you with a quote from Ernest Holmes. You are an eternal being now on the pathway of endless unfoldment. Never less, but always more yourself. Life is not static. It is forever dynamic, forever creating, not something done and finished, but something alive, awake, and aware. There is something within you that sings the song of eternity. Listen to it. So for the meditation today, I'm going to ask you to just relax and sit and put your feet on the floor. This is my blessing and prayer to you. The song by Melanie DeMore. And I'm going to keep breathing so I can sing. And I thank you. I thank you. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, I'm always here with you. I feel you deep within, 'cause I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always here with you, and I want you to know that I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I walk the path with you. There is no need to hurry. I'll go just where you need to go. There is no need to worry, 'cause I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. Thank you.
So stay on your feet for a moment. I'm going to walk out there. And as we have done so many times in the past, we're going to bless this beloved one And if you haven't done this before with us, what we're going to say is, Kit, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And in those simple phrases, we're expressing our love, our support, and our absolute confidence that Kit's yes is taking her in a good direction. So. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you.
It's good, y'all. You got a good thing going on here. Thank you. I think I will.
Aren't you glad you came? Now, with our grateful hearts, let us practice our prosperity consciousness as we circulate our good, as we give thanks with our gifts for this good thing. Unity of Wimberley is a tithing church that shares the gifts we receive as an affirmation of our oneness with the divine flow. We thank you for the gifts you have sent and have given as we affirm the gifts you are giving and sending now. We know that Spirit is working through us to supply all that is needed for our community and beyond. And you should know that this last week, we dedicated a board of trustees, and I dedicated a portion of our tithe to UNICEF, specifically for Ukraine, and for another nonprofit organization, an NGO, providing supplies to emergency responders and frontline care in Ukraine. Let's take a moment to bring this truth into our hearts as we prepare our offerings and as our ushers come forward now. As a reminder, here are some ways that you can share your gifts with Unity of Wimberley. You can text GIVE to the number on the screen, click the donate button on our website, mail a check to 455 White Wings Road, Wimberley, Texas, 78676. Tap Give on our church app, and on Venmo, you can search for Unity of Wimberley and find us there. And now let us offer this affirmation of abundance. Together, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
I thank you to you all. I love you dearly. Every day, I'm waking up grateful that I get another chance to say thank you. Every night, taking the time to remind myself that I've got it so good. And I gotta say, it's so good to be grateful every day. The sun came up this morning and I could see it. Oh, that sweet sunshine. My heart still has a beat and I'm still breathing. Oh, Lord. So far, so good. Everything's turning out right every day. Waking up grateful that I get another chance to say thank you. Every night, taking the the time to remind myself that I've got it so good. I gotta say, it's so good to be grateful every day. When I recognize the things I take for granted, I see the magic in the mundane. I know that's where the greatest gifts are planted. So I say thank you again and again every day. Every day, waking up grateful that I get another chance to say thank you every night. Taking the time to remind myself that I've got it so good. And I gotta say it's so good to be grateful every day. So grateful, yeah. I got the stars, I got the moon, I got love and I got you every day. Every day. So grateful, yeah. Grateful every day. Say that with me. Grateful every day. Grateful every day. Let's do it again. Grateful every day. Yeah. So grateful every day. Grateful every day. Last time. So grateful every day.
So now with our full hearts, let us bless these gifts together. We bless these gifts and the givers with our love and gratitude. We're moving now toward the end of our service, and thank you. It's been a little long today, but hey, there's cupcakes to reward you, so there you go. First of all, I want to say how grateful I am to you as well. I'm so grateful that God called Kit and me at the same time. There, yes, I just lost you for a second there. I thought I was in early retirement, and that I came back to be in pulpit ministry here 4 years ago is one of the greatest blessings of my life. And I'm grateful for our time, Kit. Very grateful. I'd like to thank our volunteer coordinator, Aida Pearson, our business manager and my real boss, Leah McCarn, all the volunteers that helped out yesterday and made that memorial service go seamlessly, and also for our tech staff and our volunteers today, our board of trustees that have made this day possible, the slideshow, perfect. Thank you so much for all of that. Please join us. Yeah? There's more pictures that will be in the gathering room. Oh, good. In the fireside room? Yes. So when you get your cupcake, watch more photos, and you can see them up close. Join us on Wednesdays for our Lenten check-in and prayers for Ukraine. I missed last Wednesday. I wasn't feeling well. I'll be back on board this Wednesday, 6 p.m. Anybody can come jump on with us. You'll not want to miss our service next Sunday, April 10th, because we have a very special guest speaker. Our own dear Stanley Tartikoff will share his talk, My Three Seders, with us, and we'll get a new insight into the Jewish faith. Next Sunday's Palm Sunday, but we wouldn't have that if it weren't for Passover already being part of this season. So Palm Sunday will now be Passover Sunday, which is kind of oxymoronic, I realize that, but Stanley, thank you for being willing. He and I have been talking about this talk that he's doing next Sunday. It's going to be so good. Starting next Sunday, we'll be resuming Sunday school. We are still in need of a YFM director. Evie's about tapped out. She has many responsibilities in her life, and we really would like to be able to hire a director and part-time teachers. Please contact Evie if you're interested. On Saturday, April 23rd, save the date, our Unity Men's Group will be hosting the Unity Earth Day picnic outdoors with family games, the Serenity Garden, labyrinth activities, and a drum circle led by Buffalo Thunder at the Peace Pole. So stay tuned for details. You can also reach out to Scott Price or Steve Olfelder. If you'd like information on how you can get involved as a church volunteer, contact Aida, volunteer at unityofwimberley.com. If you are or someone you know is in need of special care, running errands, driving someone, bringing meals, please contact Allison at care@unityofwimberley.com. If you have a prayer need, or concern, a question, want an appointment, you can contact me at minister@unityofwimberley.com. Okay, every Thursday at 1 p.m. I'm still doing Facebook Live Midday Reflections. Please join me. Crisis Breadbasket. We're still in need of both non-perishable donations and your monetary donations as well. After this service, Abby Vasic, our chaplain of the day, is available to pray with you. You can always fill out a blue prayer request sheet, and a yellow gratitude sheet for the gratitude jar in our fireside room. If this is your first time with us or you've changed your contact information, we have visitors cards, blue cards in the foyer on this side. That brings us to the close of our service, my friends. Please stand as we pray our prayer of protection and have our closing song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Stay standing. Of course. There was a time in my life thought I'd have to do it all for myself. I didn't think the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't feel the love of God was at hand. Now I can say if you're discouraged, trying just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you got to say. I release, I let go, I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm holding here from God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I